This is the second tragedy for Malaysia Airlines this year. Flight 370 disappeared over the southern Indian Ocean in March with 239 people on board. CBS News travel editor Peter Greenberg is here. Peter, good morning.
Good morning, Charlie.
So help us understand why this plane was flying over this war zone and therefore was downed.
Well, this plane was not alone. There are dozens of commercial airlines that were using this route. Remember, back in April when the U.S. issued that notice to airmen, that NOTAM, saying, please avoid the area. They were saying avoid the Crimea and the Black Sea, not the eastern Ukraine. So as of yesterday, you had Lufthansa, British Air, Iberia, many airlines using that route, normally. Now, of course, they're diverting.
But the assumption was if they're flying that high, 33,000 feet, that they cannot be reached by the known weapons that were being used?
Exactly, because terrorists before had these shoulder-mounted surface-to-air missiles that had a range of about 10,000 feet. These planes are flying at 33,000. So the assumption, as tragic as it is now seeming, is that nobody had the capability of doing that.
What will change?
It's all changing already. You're going to see diversions all around the world over conflict areas, as you see, whether it's in Asia, Africa, South America. They're going to start rerouting those flights.
Let's talk about Malaysia Airlines. Listen, back-to-back tragedies in less than 5 months. Your thoughts on that, and how do they possibly recover from this, Peter?
To say they are challenged is an understatement, because they were having financial difficulties way before Malaysia Flight 370. Their losses over the last 3 years are over $1.3 billion. And they're a government-owned entity. The government has been quietly trying to shop them for a bailout for a long time. There were no takers even before 370. You can imagine the situation right now. This may be a situation where the airline has to be grounded for a while, because if they can't operate as a financially viable concern, people are booking away from them in droves. Their numbers are down. They're canceling routes. This is not an unsafe airline. It's an airline that has a great safety record, although the odds of losing 2 airplanes within a 6-month period is unprecedented.
And both 777s, too. Do we read anything to that about this type of airplane?
No, it's an incredibly safe airplane. If you take a look at the safety record of the Boeing 777, other than the Asiana crash in San Francisco, which was clearly pilot error, and the 2 incidents with Malaysian Air, I'm out of ideas. I mean, it's a very safe plane.
So at this point, there are no known Americans who were aboard.
No confirmed.
No confirmed, at least by U.S. officials, certainly not confirmed. But it's an American-made airline.
Oh, yes, and Boeing will be very involved in this. They will send GO teams when they're given the permission to do so. They have to be invited in, just like the National Transportation Safety Board has to be invited in. And as you heard with Jeff's report and David's report, it's a question of preserving the scene itself. If you can't preserve the scene, and it's not just about the black boxes. All the black boxes are going to tell you is when the plane was hit. That's all they're going to tell you. What you need to do is the forensic trail on the ground, looking for chemical residue, whether or not the metal was bent out or in, whether there were marks of striation, which would be consistent with chemical weapons like Pan Am 103. These are the things that have to be done right away before anything gets ruined.